Hello and welcome to Southern Homes and Lifestyles. I'm Tonya St. Remain. We're in the prestigious South Bluffs overlooking the Mississippi River in downtown Memphis. We'll visit a home that defines downtown. It's urban chic and totally cool, from its color palette to its modern furnishings. And it's all coming your way next on Southern Homes and Lifestyles. Living on the bluffs is incredible, but building on this steep terrain can be an incredible challenge. It takes more than a solid foundation to fortify this fortress. Sitting snugly in a corner pocket of downtown Memphis, Tennessee, is the South Bluffs, a gated community with a wide variety of luxury homes that all share an amazing view, the mighty Mississippi River. The owners of this home didn't just want a house, they wanted a modern masterpiece, a livable work of art where form and function lay blissfully hand in hand.
Actually, our homeowners lived next door for close to 20 years. They were one of the first residents in South Bluff. They love the river. Once you've lived in Memphis on this Mississippi River, I'll tell you what, you don't want to live anyplace else. Downtown Memphis is our market area. We do 90% of our work here. So when someone wants to build an unusual home, many times they call us. Our homeowners sat down with us. We were involved from the very beginning of the design phase on this project to marry the materials. We have a lot of unusual materials here: steel, wood, stucco, concrete.
Building this home required the use of some clever maneuvering of machinery and manpower. The narrow lots and the proximity of the bluffs meant using concrete pumps rather than a dump truck, and occasionally even the use of a crane to get the materials to the build site. The end result of this rather difficult work is an architectural showpiece. Masterfully laid out, each room expertly flows into the next, finally spilling out to the glass wall on the west, drawing the line of sight to the incredible view of the mighty Mississippi River.
This house has just under 4,000 square feet. It is much more contemporary than the previous house. Here they have the master down, as we do on the river, for the views upstairs. And then they have one spare bedroom and then a master study. When we sat down and designed the home, we wanted to see the exposed frame. Actually, the skeleton of the house wanted to be visible. Another interesting feature that receives a lot of comments when people see it is the powder room. It's a little different. The architect and the homeowners wanted it to be floating. We have a very tall ceiling here, and they wanted it to seem like it was just setting by itself out in the middle of the room. It's really a neat feature of the home. Also, there's a butler's pantry and wet bar that are concealed from the living area between it and the entertainment area. The upstairs in this particular home, and many we build on the river, is the living area. Up here we have the family room, den. This is where they spend most of their time with the great view. Another feature that was designed very early on is the kitchen and cooking porch. They do quite a bit of entertaining.
Wanting more than a traditional screened-in porch, the homeowners worked with Mike Riley from Southern Screens to create something that, like the home itself, was less than traditional. The retractable screen stretches great lengths, allowing less obstructive views while still maintaining maximum coverage.
But the whole idea out here was to provide a screen porch with a push of a button, protection from insects, natural ventilation, but open air whenever they wanted it. So the phantom screening system was absolutely perfect for this kind of thing. Another thing that we did here was we did some custom coloring of our units and our track system. On the outside of this house, you'll notice a lot of brushed aluminum elements, and so what we needed to do was make our system blend in as seamlessly as possible. And so by having the units custom colored to a brushed aluminum finish, they're virtually invisible out there when the screens are not in use.
Working with the homeowners and the architect was this home's formula for success and for Tom Archer. Although there were a good deal of challenges for him, the end result is a truly successful marriage of incredible artistry and smart design.
My guys and I say the first day and the last day of a project are the two best days. Everything in between is a lot of work. But I tell you, we enjoyed working for these particular homeowners. They were here daily with us. My crews have mentioned to me several times this is one of their favorite homes they've ever built because the homeowners were so involved, and at the end, it's exactly what they wanted.
When Southern Homes and Lifestyles returns, we'll see how the architect approached the design of this contemporary cutting-edge home, as well as view the interior design. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. In keeping with the utilitarian warehouse feel of this design, the homeowners wanted to make sure the structural skeleton remained visible. Brett Hirsch, an architect from Looney Rick's Kiss, was tasked with designing this cutting-edge crib. Working with the builder and the owners, Brett used the most modern of materials and techniques.
They had two major stipulations. One, coming from living in the loft, they were really drawn to exposed structure. So they really wanted the bones of this house to be exposed and the structure to be exposed. Secondly, they were very adamant about their house actually being a piece of sculpture.
The strikingly nouveau exterior of the home is a perfect representation of the homeowner's desire for the house to be a work of art. The front of the house is dominated by strong geometrical patterns. The back is a giant wall of glass with each room on the inside connected to a large balcony.
Some of the examples that we addressed to meet the owner's desires were the rolling roof out to the west that extends over the river. To the east elevation, just a lot of storefront and just trying to get away from non-traditional looking structures as they had lived in the past and get to something that is more a piece of art.
One of the tenets of modern architecture is the utilitarian placement of rooms. Brett positioned the bedrooms on the first floor, leaving the living spaces to occupy the second floor, giving them the highest position on the bluff and therefore the greatest view to the river below.
Well, as you come in the front door, you're in a large, expansive foyer. Two-story glazing, lots of light, very expansive to really bring the exterior light into the interior. As far as the master bedroom, obviously it was a great desire of theirs to have it on the westernmost part of the house so they could take advantage at all times of the view to the river. The design of the stair, again, was kind of a mix of contemporary and traditional materials with the steel cable rail, the metal stair, but going back to the traditional material of the wood handrail, the wood treads, the wood risers, just to give it a little warmth.
Two very uncommon rooms designed for this home were the seemingly floating powder room and, at the homeowner's very special request, a man room.
The man room was just that. It was a place where the guys could come over, play pool, watch the football game, drink a beer, smoke a cigar, get away from everybody else and have their own little place. The floating box played off the owner's love and desire to display their artwork in their home. We kind of working with them conceptualized the idea of what if there was one element in the house that became its own piece of art.
Since the powder room was plainly one of the more unique architectural elements of the main living space, the homeowners decided that they would bring in an interior designer just for that room.
I had worked with the homeowners in a previous project at their church. They called and said that they had a powder room that they wanted me to look at, that they wanted something that sort of had a wow factor when you walked into the room. And it's actually a small room. We covered one wall in the Philip Jeffries product. It's a wall covering that's actually made of split bamboo. And then actually chose a wall color that brought the American walnut from the outside of the powder room inside. It has a lot of wow factor in the home as a whole.
The unifying theme for this home is that each room is guiding you to the view of the river. Brett's goal was to make sure that this journey happened naturally, from the inviting entryway with its staircase made from both wood and man-made materials, to the open kitchen, dining and living room that look out to the marvelous Mississippi.
Well, the west elevation and the balcony was really designed to incorporate the exterior living space with the interior living space. Basically floor-to-ceiling glass. You'll notice the structure continues from the interior to the exterior. It's important for this particular homeowner that they will live both inside and outside of their home quite a bit. So to be able to make that transition without really feeling you're going from one space to another was a large part of the reason that the home was designed this way. As far as the end result perspective of this project, I think it was very successful. The clients were great to work with. I know they are very happy with the outcome, and we as the architects are very happy with the outcome. We had a great team on this project. Working with the interior designer was a pleasurable experience. So I think all in all, when we look at it from day one and look at what the client's desires were and what their ultimate intentions for their home were, that the project as a whole was very successful.
Up next, we'll get just a glimpse at the marvelous multitude of downtown dwellings in Memphis. All coming up on Southern Homes and Lifestyles. Downtown living is a popular choice for many Memphians, but whether it's your permanent residence or just a weekend getaway, the selections are limitless. Starting in the early 1990s, there was a wave in Memphis of young professionals who were interested in being a central part of the revitalization of downtown. For many, including Nikki Schroeder, living downtown is a very personal choice that means a lot more than just having a place to lay your head down at the end of the day.
Living downtown is just being in Memphis. It's being in the heart of Memphis. It's being in the center of everything that goes on. If you want to know anything about Memphis, you're going to come downtown. Every loft in the 415 is different. So, when I was looking, I looked at all the floor plans, and this one with the open kitchen, the bedroom, it's cozy. There's so much light and energy opening up into the courtyard. You have enough privacy without feeling closed in.
Downtown dwellers are a diverse group, representing a wide variety of backgrounds and tastes. Nikki was able to work with the designers of her loft to add special touches that made it uniquely hers.
Archimania designed this building. Everything was pretty much pre-done. We had several choices. We could choose the accent color on the wall. You have the option of keeping the floors sealed concrete. I came in and I stained them before I moved in. Painted the bathrooms, and all the lighting is mine. Just came in and custom designed my own lighting based on the pool table and the artwork.
One possession that Nikki could not live without was her jazzy red felt pool table. She used the table as the centerpiece of what would normally be a living room, creating an exciting living space expertly tailored for entertaining friends and family.
I couldn't part with the pool table, so that was sort of a prerequisite for my living space, was that there was enough room for the pool table. It's kind of a permanent attachment to me. There's definitely enough space here without being too crowded, and where the pool table is where the den would be for most people, but we've made a cozy little nook in the back for the TV and the couch, and it just works great. On the weekends, I basically never leave downtown, so you just walk wherever you want to go. You take the trolley. Everything is at your fingertips. You can shop down here, you can eat. It's like being on vacation every weekend. It's terrific.
The Shrine Building is a superb example of historic preservation. The Henry Turley Company took this aged and architecturally significant building and transformed it into dazzling luxury condominiums.
Shrine Building is built in 1923. It was originally the headquarters for the Shriners. In the mid-'80s, it was converted into an apartment building, and then last year, Henry Turley Company decided to convert it into condos and wanted to basically keep the architectural integrity of the historic property, but also introduce the new age modern conveniences such as high-speed internet access, redid the pool, a new roof deck, basically best building that we could possibly ever design.
The penthouse level of the Shrine Building is undeniably spectacular, featuring two-story lofts that rival any new posh construction for space and amenities. The top floor also features the quickest access to the roof, which provides an oasis elevated over the top of downtown and featuring, of course, that spectacular Mississippi River view.
This unit here is definitely different than most downtown. It's a two-story loft. It takes a little bit of a traditional and a modern approach. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, windows from floor to ceiling on both floors. A lot of people want to get outdoors and do things and have a barbecue grill. Well, we've got that on the roof, so we don't have to go far from anything.
The Shrine building does a virtuoso job of combining the rich architectural detail of the existing structure with newer materials.
When we decided to build out this place, we really wanted the finest things we could find. We had custom-made maple cabinetry. We went with a real nice thick granite.
Urban living has certainly taken off here, and it seems it will be in vogue for quite some time. Historic renovations and sustainable living spaces that are close to workplaces, as well as being a cultural center, are all excellent reasons for the continued climb in the number of downtown residents.
You know, downtown's a great place, close to everything, walking distance to restaurants, nightlife. Basically anything you want is in walking distance these days downtown.
Coming up, we'll visit another must-see in downtown Memphis as Cafe 61's Chef Dirk cooks up another Southern favorite. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back. Chef Dirk here with Cafe 61. Today we'll be doing our pecan encrusted catfish, and it's like no other little fish fry you've ever had. Right here we have just basic fillet of catfish. I'll put a little blackened seasoning on it, and a little salt. Okay, what we're going to do is go ahead and batter it here. It's a little flour, has a little seasoning in it. Get good and coated. And then we have buttermilk here. We just dip it in. And this is just breadcrumbs with crushed up pecans. Now what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and fry this. I'll just drop it in the basket and drop it down. Now while that's going, what we do here is we do a little mixed vegetable and squash, zucchini, red onion, and carrot. Get your olive oil in a warm pan. Saute it a little bit. I usually hit a little bit of blackened seasoning, a little salt, and a little oregano. You grease the pan with a little wine. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and set that off the side, keep it warm. I have another small pan here, already with a little olive oil in it. And we top our catfish with a couple of sauteed shrimp. A little more blackened seasoning. And don't those look pretty now? And those are done. Now we'll go ahead and set up the plate. What we start out with here is a little Cajun rice. Go ahead and put some of the rice here on the plate. We have our catfish fillet. We'll go ahead and sit down on top of it. Now this is our piquant sauce. It's basically canned tomatoes, plum tomatoes, red and yellow peppers, and yellow onions. What we'll do is we'll pour this over top. Now what I have here is our sauteed shrimp that will go on top of it, and our veggies that we just did. And there you have it, the pecan catfish at Cafe 61. This is Chef Dirk. We'll see you next time.
That wraps it up for this edition of Southern Homes and Lifestyles. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed today's show. For more information, check out our website at southernhomestv.com. I'm Tonya St. Romain, and I'll see you back here next week for another dose of Southern charm served on a silver platter.